licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon here on, well, it's Arizona Mountain Time, and then 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. If you are looking for a therapist, I am proud to say that I am sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, Ashley. BetterHelp with a P, help. So BetterHelp, help. BetterHelp.com. And if you would like to look for an online therapist there, what you're going to do is you're going to go to www.betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez, all one word. So that is where you will go. And the reason why I partnered with them is because they are an international online company that connects clients with counselors. So international, meaning if you are in England, where I am hearing over and over and over again that the mental health care there is less than stellar and that the wait line is ridiculous to get help, or you're living in India, or you're living in what was the other country, or Italy or France or any of those countries, you know, and you're wanting to get connected with a mental health therapist. All of them are licensed in their state, absolutely licensed. If you look at the agreement, it says they are all licensed. They are all master's level or PhD level. And if you don't like your therapist, you can simply go back in through the portal, say, I want a different therapist, bada bing, bada boom. They take you to a new therapist. So betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. So that is where you can go find online counseling. Or if you are in a rural area and you don't like the counselors around you, but you still want to get counseling, but you don't want to drive to like a city that's 2 hours away, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. So there it is. And I'd like to thank them for sponsoring me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so got that all out of the way. Letting you know that these little beauties are still in my house. And if you really want to help me out, please buy one and get them out of my house. So these are available on chrisgodinez.com. Also, I wanted to talk, and this book is going to apply to today, The Highly Sensitive Person's Guide to Dealing with Toxic People, How to Reclaim Your Power from Narcissists and Other Manipulators by Shahida Arabi. Awesome book. I recommend this to all my clients. This is a great book. And this is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So hold on. If you are in the middle of a divorce splitting, Bill Eddy and Randy Krieger, excellent book. Get it. I love Bill Eddy. He's written some really good stuff. So, and Randy Krieger, obviously. So good book, because this will let you know exactly what the abuser is going to do, sadly enough. So wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world where I didn't have to do this every week? I would love that. That would make me extremely happy. Not that I don't like doing it, but it's just, I hate the fact that there are people like that out there that do that during divorces and stuff like that. Susanna Quintana, SusannaQuintana.com. You can get your book for her there. She is amazing. I love her. And this is a great book. And she writes wonderful articles, and I post them up on my Facebook page all the time. Also, these two beauties are available on Audible, and they are available on my website, and I autograph them and pack them myself. So if you are interested in these, these are back in stock. So that's good. So this one is about my childhood growing up with an abuser, and this one is like why some people stay in abuse and others don't. So there that is. I think that does everything. Okay, let's dive into it. All right, so today I wanted to talk about, so what happens a lot is people come to see me and they've been in a narcissistically abusive relationship or any kind of abusive relationship. And the first words out of their mouth is, oh my God, what if I'm the narcissist? What if I'm the abuser? What if I'm the one that's the problem? And several people have also written and said, can you talk about reactive abuse? Yes. So when we are in an abusive relationship of any kind, whether it is a parental, the parents are abusive to us, or a boss has been abusive to us, friends are abusive to us, romantic partner is abusive to us. What is one of the first things that they always do to us? They gaslight. and they start making us doubt reality, and they start making us question ourselves. It's kind of like, did I say that? Did I do that? Am I wrong? What's going on? So gaslighting is a huge part of the reason why people walk in and they're like, oh my God, am I the abuser? The answer to that is, I need to turn down my sound. Hold on. Sorry, I forgot. The answer to that is, no, you're not. And here's how you tell that you're not the problem. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm the problem. Well, stop. Just pull back on the reins there. Whoa. So let's see what's going on. So people who have empathy, people who are highly sensitive, like Shahida's book, Highly Sensitive Person's Guide to Dealing with Toxic People. Narcissists love highly sensitive people, people with an actual moral compass and people with an actual empathy cog. So they love to chew up and spit out people that have got healthy, normal empathy, people who are empathic, people who love, people who are kind, people who are sensitive. They especially love borderlines, especially when they're down at the lower end of the spectrum, because they play on the fear. They play on our doubting ourselves. They play on the gaslighting. They make sure that we do not trust our gut. Okay, that is the first thing that people need to relearn when you're leaving an abusive relationship, is to trust your gut, trust your perception. Perception is everything. I had a wonderful mentor when I was going through school, John Nixon. And that is one thing he kept saying to me, is perception is everything. And especially when you're dealing in abusive relationships, it's like, that's how they mess with it, is they mess with your perception. So perception is everything. And so when very sensitive people, highly sensitive people are in an abusive relationship, some of the key terms that abusers use, oh Lord, what did I do with my glasses? I do this to myself every time, good Lord. Okay, hang on. Some of the key terms that abusers use to make you doubt yourself, you're too sensitive. I hate that one. That one just pisses me right the hell off, because you're too sensitive. Well, you just called out the abuser on abuse, and they're telling you that you're too sensitive? What? They don't like that. So what they'll do is, when they get nailed red-handed for something that they did, you're too sensitive. Yeah, I was just kidding. Things said in jest are very often meant, 9 times out of 10. Especially if they're nasty, especially if they're snarky, especially if they're cruel, especially if they're mean. So what they start doing is they start eroding away our ability to discern reality, like seriously, like reality. Okay. So like, notice they don't pull that stuff with people that won't put up with it. Seriously, they don't. They didn't. Not even a little. They'll try it maybe once, and then when they see it doesn't work, they start smearing that person, and then they get away from them because they know they can't use their voodoo magic on that person. So really, are you the problem? Okay, let's take a little quiz here. Do you hate hurting people? Probably, yeah. Do you intentionally say mean, cruel, vicious, nasty things not in response to reactive abuse? Probably not. Do you love? Do you just love? Are you generally a happy, kind person that just wants to see everybody get along? Okay, that's not a narcissist. That's not an abuser. So let's talk about this. Narcissists do not love. They do not. If it hurts, it ain't love. I don't know what the hell it is, but it ain't love. So what they will do is they will say these things and go, oh, I'm just telling you this for your own good. And then you start doubting your own reality. Let's talk about reactive abuse while I'm at it, while I'm thinking about it. So reactive abuse, and this happens in almost every single abusive relationship, is the abuser abuses and abuses and abuses and abuses and abuses and abuses. And at some point, the target of abuse has had enough and explodes back. But then the abuser goes, see, you're the abuser. You're doing this to me. You guns, you guns, going off like crazy. Okay. And now the person starts going, oh my God, I just raged. Oh my God. Am I the abuser? Am I the bad? if it's in response to abuse and you've never really done that throughout your entire life, no, you're not the abuser. It is a reactive response to abuse. When people get enough abuse, at some point, most people will go, oh, hell no, boom, blow up, draw a super strong boundary, but then that person perceives that as abuse because they're assholes. You know where I'm going with that, and they won't take responsibility for their own actions. Do you take responsibility for your own actions? Congratulations, you're not an abuser. Seriously, abusers do not take responsibility for their own actions. Neither are they introspective. They don't ever look in the mirror and go, what's my part? Or question what they are doing. They will, oh my God, the rationalizations, the excuses, the justifications. It's just like dealing with a really serious addict when you're dealing with an abuser, because if you nail them on that stuff, well, I did it because, and oh, it's not my fault because, and oh, they made me do that, and oh, really, that's what they do. They don't ever take responsibility for their own stuff. But we who have empathy, who want to be good people, who do our damnedest to be good people, we always question. We just do. Or did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing? Am I living my higher purpose? Am I making the next correct step? Did I harm this person? Do I need to make amends? We're always thinking like that. And those people, and I use the term loosely, come back and use that against us. And they work on that concern. They work on that fear. They work on that, which is a normal thing to have. A healthy, normal person actually cares how they are affecting other people, and if they need to make amends, and if they need to take the next right step. Narcissists don't. They do not, listen to me now, believe me later, have empathy. And I've had people try to argue with me on this. Oh no, you're talking about a psychopath. Well, yes, psychopaths don't have empathy either, but guess what? Neither do narcissists. So they don't. Their ego. It's all ego. It is all ego. When I say there is no there, there is no there. There is no introspection. There's no contemplating the universe. What am I doing? Where is my part in this? How do I make this better? How do I, but we do. Targets of abuse do. We're always constantly, and that is to our detriment. We're always constantly going, how do I make this better? How do I fix this? Well, let me clue you into something. Never go to counseling with a freaking abuser. Don't do it. It's not safe. They will take anything and everything you have ever said and use it against you. Where are my glasses? Hold on. I got more I want to read. So yeah, the whole, you're too sensitive. Swear, where is something I can swear? There's my DSM-5. Swear on the DSM-5. As soon as somebody says you're too sensitive, that should be a huge red flag to you. Like, seriously. Like, you should be like, shields up, phasers on, stun, possibly kill. I don't know. But, you need to be careful, because that is one of the classic things that abusers say. Okay, so, okay, 24 strikes, the highest sensitive person. Okay, you're being gaslighted if you are constantly second guessing yourself. We talked about that. Oh, jeez Louise, I really need to get new contacts and glasses and stuff. Oh my God. You ask yourself, am I too sensitive a dozen times a day? That's how you know you're being gaslit. Because here's the deal. Healthy, normal people don't make you question yourself. Healthy, normal people support you. Healthy, normal people let you know, hey, you're doing great. Hey, no, you're not too sensitive. You have a right. You have a right to your emotions. They don't like emotions. They don't have any emotion other than anger and jealousy. That seems to be the two that they can wrap their little minds around. The rest of them is out of their grasp, and they're pissed off about it. And they hate us. They do, for having emotions and feeling and loving and being concerned and having empathy. They don't have that. They don't wake up in the morning and go, how can I make the world a better place? They don't. Trust me on that. And they certainly don't care about us. So, okay. So they make us question, am I too sensitive? No, you are not. Let me answer that question. No, you are not. Your perceptions are valid. Your emotions are valid. There is no such thing as too sensitive. And if somebody tells you you're too sensitive, run. Do not walk to the nearest exit. Okay, there's that. Okay. You often feel confused and crazy. So you're not the problem. I'm sorry. You are not the problem. If you are feeling confused and crazy because this person is rewriting history and telling you, oh, no, that didn't happen. Oh, no, you're remembering it wrong. Really? Again, perception. Perception. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. Work on trusting your gut. Once you trust your gut, you will be impervious to these people. They will be unable to get you. You'll be bulletproof because you'll always check in with your gut and go, does that sound right? Does that feel right? No, it doesn't. This person is lying to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So they make us feel crazy, and that's their intent because they're trying to erode self-esteem. Think about it. How does an abuser abuse? By eroding self-esteem, self-agency. And they want us to be completely dependent on them. That's why they isolate us. They also don't want us to trust ourselves because if we start trusting ourselves, we are going to leave their sorry behinds behind. Right? Okay, so there is that. All right. You are always apologizing. Always apologizing. Always apologizing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's codependency. That is codependency. So if you're always apologizing, that's a really good sign that you're not an abuser. Seriously, think about it. Abusers don't care. How often do they really apologize? Like really apologize, like heartfelt, holy crap, I hurt you. I own it. I did this. I am mortified. How can I make amends? How can I repair this relationship? What do you need? I am so sorry. That's a true apology. Anything less than that is freaking BS. Do you see where I'm going with that? So yeah, you want to, they make us apologize all the time, even for things they did. This is, oh Lord. I have had targets of abuse sit on my couch or, do counseling with me now that I'm doing telehealth because, stupid COVID. Because I'm just letting you all know when I go back out on tour again and it's safe and we can socialize and get together in groups of 10 again and, actually hug each other. I'm going to hug y'all. I'm just warning you right now. It's going to happen because this whole, it's been a year since I have hugged anybody outside my family. I'm just like, wow, that's not me. Anyway, it's really hard like when I meet up with friends because we're always like, no. Elbow. Tough it, darling. That whole thing. So anyway, sorry, off track. Woo, squirrel. Okay, so we apologize. That's codependency. And they play on that. They want us to be sorry for everything. And they switch things around. That's what I started to say. They switch things around. So they're the ones cheating or got caught doing whatever, draining the bank account, stealing, lying, whatever. Well, you made me. What? And then they demand that their spouse apologize. I just don't even, OMG. Seriously, they do that. So they will do horrible things, but you're the one that ends up apologizing. No, you are not the abuser. They are. Okay, hang on. Okay. Okay. Okay, you never feel quite happy. It's like you're walking on eggshells. You're constantly fearful of what's going to happen, and they blame you for it. Well, you're not happy because of you. You're not happy because you're just not a happy person, but you were a happy person before you got involved with them. Ooh, what does that say? Hello. You frequently, oh my God. Okay. You frequently make excuses, rationalize, justify your partner's or your family's or your boss's or your friends' behavior. Now, a lot of targets of abuse come and sit on my couch and say, well, but there's so many people around me telling me the same thing. Okay, let's take a step back. How many of those people around you are flying monkeys? How many of those people around you are disordered? How many of those people around you are not healthy and not working on themselves? That's what you got to take a look at. Because remember, we surround ourselves with people of the same level of mental health. So if we're not healthy, generally, a lot of the people around us are not going to be healthy. And that's why next week, I'm going to be talking about the stages of healing, what to expect when you're healing. But that's why when you start healing, it gets kind of lonely every once in a while because you're cleaning out all the toxic people and all the flying monkeys because you're replacing them with healthier people and non-flying monkeys. So there is that. Okay. Ooh. Okay, you find yourself withholding information from friends and family so you don't have to explain. So if you're protecting the abuser, if you're taking it all on, codependency, if you're taking it all on and trying to protect them and make them look like the good guy or the good gal, hello, Houston, you're not the problem. Notice abusers don't ever do that for their partner. Oh my God. In fact, they revel in the smear campaign, revel in it. They will badmouth the current partner. They'll badmouth previous partners. They'll go on a smear campaign. Healthy, normal people do not do that. You do not smear other people. That is just bad effing manners. Seriously, don't even get me started. Oh my God. Anyway, that's another clue. Like if you're loath to say anything bad about this person who's doing all these horrible things, you're not the problem. I mean, there's a problem in that we got to deal with the codependency and learning to trust your gut, but you're not the narcissist. You're not the abuser. Narcissists never, listen to me now, believe me later. They never, ever look at themselves, ever. They are not that deep of thinkers, not even the cerebral ones. It's never their fault. They're not the problem. They're never lost. My dad's favorite saying, as we were lost in the middle of the woods, high centered on a rock somewhere. Oh, I'm not lost. I'm just temporarily confused. Meanwhile, in my little 8-year-old head, I'm like, we're going to die out here. Oh my God. Never would admit he was wrong, even when he was literally wrong, literally dead wrong, literally high centered in the forest wrong. You see where I'm going with that? They never take responsibility for what they are doing. They never take responsibility for what they've said, what they've done, nothing. There is never an apology. There is never any introspection. And if they get called an abuser or narcissistic, they'll justify it. I've heard them justify. Well, of course I'm narcissistic. That just means that I have a lot of self-worth. No, it doesn't. It means you have zero self-worth. You're living in a fantasy land and you're not a real person. Thanks for playing. Next. Do you see where I'm going with that? So yeah, oh, geez, Louise, just don't even get me too late started. Anyway, all right, so, okay. You know there is something terribly wrong in your relationship, but you can never express it, not even to yourself. So you blame you. Let me just say that again. You know, like sun comes up in the east, you know there is something terribly wrong in your relationship, but you never express it. Not even to yourself. Houston, we got a problem, but it ain't the problem you think it is the problem. So in other words, you're not the abuser. You may have some issues being a target, such as codependency, low self-esteem, etc. Those are things that need to be worked on, but you are not the problem. That person is. Mm-hmm. All right. You start lying to avoid put downs and reality twists. Yep. You have trouble making simple decisions. Okay, healthy, normal people can make decisions. Here's the other thing. Narcissists, because they do not consider all possibilities, they have no problem making decisions because they don't think they're ever wrong. Did I mention that? They don't literally do not ever think that they're wrong. But when you're dealing with somebody who's been the target of an abuser, they can't make a decision to save their lives. Like they're literally like, what if they say this and what if they say that and what if these people say this and what if it's the wrong decision and what if lots of perfect pictures, which says to be family of origin, which is usually either a narcissistic abuser in that family or addiction of some sort, because addicts tend to do the whole everybody has to be perfect except me, that kind of thing. So yeah, there's that. So you're not the problem. Can I just keep telling you that if you're listening to this channel, you're not the problem. Narcissists don't like this channel. What they'll do is they'll come on and they'll start arguing with me. And they'll be like, well, but narcissists can change and narcissists are good people and narcissists are blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, click, bye. Yeah, if you're listening to this channel to figure out who you are and to get better, then you're not the problem. If you're listening to this channel to figure out how to abuse better, you're the problem. See where I'm going with that? All right, so that being said, all right. Back to this. Okay. Okay. You have a sense that you used to be a very different person. I used to be happy. I used to have joy. I used to be independent. I used to feel free. I hear that all the time. It's like, I've changed. I can't trust myself. I can't trust myself. I can't make decisions. I don't feel like I laugh anymore. I'm different. I used to be so happy and da 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 da. Well, that's hello. And of course, the abuser is going, oh, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. Meanwhile, no, it's them, it's them, it's them, it's them. And it's our codependency. So let's take some responsibility for that. We've got some codependency issues going on, and we need to work on that, and self-esteem issues going on, and we need to work on that. The Self-Esteem Workbook, Glenn Schiraldi, I'm not kidding you. Get it, read it, work it, do it. And go slowly. It drives me crazy when people are like, oh, I read it all in 1 week. And I'm like, no, you didn't. Well, you might have, but you didn't do the work, and you certainly didn't digest it. Think of it this way. Your work on yourself should be like eating a gourmet meal. You don't rush through that. You take a bite and you savor all the flavors. Oh yeah, baby. And then you try to figure out where that fits in your life. Or if you're eating a gourmet meal, you try to figure out what spices they're using. That's my favorite game. So, it's like, I know, weird things I do. But no, seriously. So it is savoring it. You savor each step. But because there is pain involved, because there is fear involved, because we are helping that little inner child. The inner child is like, this is scary. I want to get done with it. I want to get done with it now. So it's kind of like how Jess, my trainer, frames it to me when we're working out. I love him. I also hate him, but I love him. But when we're working out and we're doing an exercise that's really difficult, because he always targets these itty bitty little muscles. He always says, when it starts getting difficult, you'll find yourself going faster. And that is true, not only in working tiny little muscles, but also in working on your inner child, working on the fear, working on the pain. It's like there's a part of us that's just like, no, I just want to get through it. No, savor it. The anger shows us where we've been hurt. Pain shows us where we need to work. So it's just an indication of what needs to be worked on. Don't be afraid of it. Yes, it is going to hurt. Yes, it is painful. However, you have survived the worst of it. This is all just memories. This is all just in the past that we're working on so that we're healthy in the present. So that's what it is. Remind yourself of that. Remind your inner child of that. You've already been through the worst. You survived. Now you're working on yourself. It's all just memories. Amygdala, remember, the amygdala cannot tell the difference between something happening here and now, something that happened you're thinking about in the future, or something that happened in the past. So you really have to work on calming that little stupid amygdala down. It's stupid, like 3-0, stupid. Cannot tell the difference between real threat, thought about a real threat, daydreaming about a threat, an emotional threat, a thought about an emotional threat, or some real event that happened in the past. To the amygdala, everything is here now, here now, here now, here now. That's why when you are processing this stuff, you find yourself having panic attacks. You find yourself having, intrusive thoughts, etc., because the amygdala is going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is happening right now, even though this is stuff that happened in the past. So you have to remind yourself, you have to soothe the inner child, and you have to calm the amygdala down by breathing slow, deep breaths. I'm safe. I'm okay. Everything's fine. This is just a thought. This is just a memory. That's it. I survived this. You survived this. Give yourself a pat on the back. Y'all deserve it. You survived it, and now you're healing it. So there's that. All right. So to keep going, how you know you're not the abuser. Hang on. How are we doing on time? Oh my God, we're almost running out. Okay. You feel hopeless and joyless. Yeah, I talked about that. You feel as though you cannot do anything right. Oh, my Lord. That is exactly what they do. It's like no matter what you do, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you do this, you're wrong. If you do that, you're wrong. You're just basically wrong. And that is not normal. Okay. Signs of a highly sensitive person. I want to read this too, because remember, narcissists seek out highly sensitive people, empathic people, people with an empathy cog. That's why they like borderline personality disordered people, especially down at the lower end of the spectrum, because they can eat them up for breakfast and chew them out for lunch. And it's terrible. It is terrible to watch. They are just evil. Ugh. Okay. So highly sensitive people, also people who have some codependency issues, often have difficulty letting go of negative thoughts and negative emotions, frequently feels physical symptoms, headache, stomachache, etc. Like when I was a kid and I was forced to go to that horrible school in Richvale, I threw up every morning before school, every morning without fail, because I had a stomachache, because fear, often have bad days, that affect eating and or sleeping, have huge amounts of anxiety, tend to beat themselves up for failing their own expectations, and especially expectations of others, afraid of rejection. Often thinks or worries what others are thinking. So some of this is highly sensitive. Some of this is codependent. So, I mean, I like this art, and both of these I got off of Psychology Today. So what I did is I typed in highly sensitive people, and found some articles on that. And then I typed in one on gaslighting, because this is what they do to make us think that we are the problem. Tend to take things personally, and they play on that. Oh my God, they play on that. Find it difficult when triggered by relatively small unpleasantness, feels hurt easily, hides the negative feelings because they're embarrassed by them or vulnerable by them. Or there's a lot of, and this is why abusers are attracted to borderline personality disorder, because they have a harder time emotionally regulating. So they enjoy the drama of torturing the borderline, who then responds or reacts, and then that to them is their narcissistic supply. That is like cocaine to them, and that's why I think it's vile that they feed off of them. So that just makes me very angry. Okay, so basically, they're very in tune with other people's feelings, and when somebody is not happy, they are not happy, which is also a part of codependency. So basically, the abuser will come in and go, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. So it's just like the whole Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing. So you see Johnny Depp exploding and reacting, but what we didn't see until recently is her sitting there poking the bear, which, obviously not a good idea to ever react and explode. However, that's what narcissists do. This is how they try to make us think that we are the problem. Here's another clue. Narcissists do not seek help, not really. Okay, what they'll do is they'll find a counselor that is either brand new to the counseling profession and doesn't know they're behind in from a hole in the ground, or they find someone who is a humanist. No, don't get me started. We don't label people. Oh my freaking God, really? So, and I understand their thoughts on that, but they don't understand the particular kind of vile evil that you are dealing with when you deal with domestic violence, when you deal with a toxic, nasty abuser who enjoys it. You can't worry about labels when you're dealing with somebody like that. So anyway, and I will defend to the death the targets till the day I die, and humanists can kiss my hind end as far as I'm concerned. So, okay. So they will make us think that we're the problem. You're the problem. You're too sensitive. No, or you guns, you guns. And how do we get there? It is the training that we get from our parents in part. It is also the repetitive sayings. It's brainwashing. They brainwash us to think that we are the problem. We are not the problem. If you don't like hurting people, if you don't enjoy the drama, if you just want a healthy, happy life, guess what? You're not the problem. But if you're over there abusing, flipping the script, you're the problem, you guns, guess what? They're the problem. So, but they make every single target feel like they're crazy, right? I'm the crazy one. Oh my God, they're telling me I don't remember things right. I don't, I misheard them. Oh, that's another. Oh, I never said that. No, this is what I really said. When in fact, it's the polar opposite of what they said. And they're doing that to erode our reality. Oh, don't get me started. Okay, so anyway, basically what it is you're not the problem if you're worried about it. You're not the problem if you're working on it. If you are, working on your self-esteem and working on the codependency issues and want a better life and realize that you have got to do stuff for you, then you're not the problem. If the abuser does not work on themselves, they don't. They'll go to therapy like 1, maybe 3 times, and then as soon as the counselor goes, and what is your part in this? Peace out. They're incompetent. They're stupid. They're dangerous. They don't know what they're doing. Blah, 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 blah. And let me just say this again. It is not safe to go to couples counseling with an abuser. It's not. If they are name calling, if they're rewriting history, if they're gaslighting you, if they're telling you it's all your fault, do not go to couples counseling with them. Do not. And here's another clue that you know that they're the problem. So let's say you're having all these problems in your relationship and you mention we should go to counseling, right? Which you shouldn't. Don't go to counseling with them. They will find every reason in the book not to go, and they'll tell you that counseling is stupid, counselors are stupid, they're just doing it for the money, blah, 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 blah. Every excuse under the book. You know why? Because they don't want to be seen, because they know a good counselor is going to see right through them, and you damn straight I do. So anyway, there that is. All right, let's get to the questions. All right, so let me get over here, and I went way long. Good Lord, I'm sorry. Okay. Why does my narc parent keep leaving me voicemails? It's been a year of no contact and he's been blocked on my phone. He can still leave voicemails. He leaves voicemails every holiday and at random. It's the Hoover, guys. It's the Hoover. So remember, narcissists would rather have screwed up, dysfunctional connection to somebody than no connection at all. And so what they do is they keep reaching out. They keep hoping. They keep hoping you're going to have abuse amnesia. That never happened. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Oh, gosh, you know, they're old. Maybe I should have contact with them. No. No. No biscuit. No. Put it down. Put the phone down. Don't do it. Seriously. Because what they're doing is they're hoovering you. They're hoovering you. It's a Hoover. Guys, notice every holiday and at random. So that is what abusers do, is they will hoover on the holidays. And we're coming up on Valentine's Day. So be prepared for the walk down memory lane, just like I talked about with Christmas and New Year's. They're going to start doing the Valentine hoover. Oh, do you remember when? And I love you so much. I realize how much I love you. Oh my freaking God. Seriously? Yeah, they will do that. So be prepared for the Valentine's Day hoover in the weeks leading up, because we're in that range now. So yeah, you're going to get the hoovers. You are. And when you stop talking to a parent, yeah, they're going to reach out at every Hallmark holiday they can think of and then randomly reach out. It's a hoover. They're looking for you to feel guilty, feel obligated, or feel fearful. And I just said it in opposite. Fearful, obligated, or guilty. Fog. So if anything makes you feel fearful, obligated, or guilty, it is a toxic person trying to work on you to get them back in touch with you. Get you back in touch with them. To continue contact, basically. So don't fall for it. The reason they do it is because they need narcissistic supply. And if you're not giving them any narcissistic supply, it drives them crazy. It does. The worst thing you can do to a narcissist, when I say the worst thing, it's really the best thing you can do to them. Crickets. Don't respond. Don't talk to them. Don't give them anything, because narcissistic supply is what they feed on. And basically, you got to cut them off. And notice how much happier is your life since going no contact. And it cracks me up when I have narcissists send me these nasty grams going, how dare you tell people to go no contact? That's the worst thing you could do. Yeah, worst thing for you. You freaking self-centered POS. You know, I mean, it's just like, hello. Yeah, if your life is so much better. Hey, Sherry, you're welcome. If your life is so much better going no contact, then stay no contact. I mean, this is the thing. I get letters all the time from people going, oh my God, it's so much nicer not having to deal with the crazy family or the crazy ex or the crazy whatever. And this is where I really feel for couples that are in, or targets that are in a divorce with a narcissist or with a very, very abusive person, because you can't, if there's kids involved, you can't go completely no contact. But there are apps that you can use that every single email is recorded so that you have it, so that they can't go through and erase. And I strongly urge you to use that, because they will say the most horrible things and think that they can go back and erase it, and then they can't. And then, oh, look at that. Evidence. So do you see where I'm going with that? So yeah, so I'll try to find what those apps are. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but yeah, that's why they keep contacting us. It's a hoover. They need that contact. They need that narcissistic supply, like a drug addict needs their drug. So there that is. So just stay no contact. Good job. Okay. My mom was very sadistic and abusive. She kept saying that she sometimes wondered if she was a bad person? How can this be? Does she know what she was doing? So here's where it gets really weird for people. Abusers absolutely know what they're doing. They are doing it on purpose. She's not scared if she's a bad person. She's scared of getting caught. So they do know what they're doing. They do. They absolutely do know what they're doing. They know right from wrong, legally, unless they're, completely psychotic or paranoid schizophrenic or schizophrenic and really don't have a perception of right and wrong. They absolutely know what they are doing. And it is on purpose. Don't kid yourself. And this is where targets really get screwed up, is because they're like, oh, I feel so sorry for them. They don't know what they're doing. No, they know what they're doing. They literally wake up in the morning and figure out how they're going to torture, who they're going to torture, how they're going to do this. You can see the wheels turning. So yes, they do know right from wrong. They do know what they're doing. And wondering if I'm a bad person. Well, doesn't that sound like a Hoover to you? Doesn't that sound like a give me sympathy? Doesn't that sound like a tell me I'm not a bad mom or a bad dad or whatever? Oh, please. That's a pity thing. That's another narcissistic supply. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm good. Meanwhile, I'm slapping the crap out of you. And I've seen that too. The abuser will abuse the child, and as they're abusing them, oh, this is not happening. This is not real. Tell me I'm a good parent. Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff. They're crazy, but they're not legally crazy. Does that make sense? So like, they're crazy as in no freaking normal person will do that, but they're not crazy in that they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they don't care, and they want to be told that they're good when they know they're bad. Yeah, so yeah. So yeah, it's no. That's why. That's why. And again, this is gaslighting. Tell me I'm a good mom. Slap. Tell me I'm a good mom. Slap. See where I'm going with that? All right. So when we meet a new friend, how do we know if we like them? If they raise their voice and minimize you, should we wait until they're nicer? If they're raising their voice at you and minimizing your feelings, run to the nearest exit. So again, here's the thing, guys. It's like, you got to work on yourself. I get this question a lot. A lot of my clients ask me personal questions because they're like, well, how did you get to where you are now? Hard work. Seriously, like being willing to get into the lion's den and face down the predator, which was my dad, but also dealing with the inner child, being willing to go through that pain, being willing to face that pain with my inner child and comfort her and love her and give her the courage to stand up for herself. It's going through and doing the work. I didn't lay on a couch. I sat on a couch for 7 years in Oregon processing my insane family with Fabian Smith, who was my counselor up there. She was awesome. She's the one that put me on the right path. But I did the work. Even when I was working with her, I read everything I could get my hands on. I journaled. I worked through it. I talked things out. I screamed things out. I sang things out. I, did whatever I needed to. Thank you, Donna. You do the hard work. There's no way around it. The only way out is through, guys. The only way out is through. And let me tell you, you already survived. Everything else is just a memory. Everything else is stuff you've already gone through. It's just now going back through and separating the wheat from the chaff. That's all you're doing. You're separating out the wheat from the chaff. What was real, what was not real, what was yours, what was your parents', et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's a scary thing to do. Because think about it. Abusers tell us that we can't be mad at them, especially if they're a parental abuser. Well, they do it when they're a romantic abuser as well. You can't be mad at them. You can't. How dare you question? How dare you do this? How dare you do? No. Now is your time. Now is your year. Do it. Question it. Get back to who you are. Be willing to face the fear. Fear. False evidence appearing real. It's just a thought. Putting your hand on a hot plate on a stove, yes, that's going to burn. Thinking about putting a hand on your hot plate on the stove will not. However, your body will respond as if you are doing it. That's why we have all this fear when we go through and start working through this. Bessel van der Kolk, The Body Keeps Score. Body Keeps Score by Bessel van der Kolk. Our amygdala, our brains act as if it were happening in the moment. It's not. You're okay. You're safe. You're all right. You have a right to confront them. You have a right to call them out for their behavior. You have a right to heal. You have a right to your feelings. You have a right to your perceptions. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And if they do, run. Do not walk to the nearest exit. What the heck was the question? I think I got off track here. Sorry. So you listen to your gut. If somebody is minimizing you, listen to your gut. Does that seem a little too familiar? And here's the other thing. You don't go looking for new friends immediately. You start working on you. You get your list of deal breakers together. What will you not put up with in any relationship? That should be minimizing, gaslighting, lying, cheating, stealing, rewriting history, putting you down, name calling, just kidding. All of that's snarkiness. All of that stuff. Those should all be deal breakers. And you should really analyze each person you meet. It's like, is this person doing this? Oh, they're not. Oh, good. Okay. We can go out for coffee. Fabulous. See where I'm going with that? So yeah, so you write down your list of deal breakers. That's how you figure out, that's how you figure out whether this person is going to be a good match or not for you as far as a friend is concerned. Okay, question. I have been nonstop nightmares where I wake up out of breath and enraged or panicked. Lately, I've noticed that they haven't affected me. Is this a sign of progress or being desensitized? I can't answer that. I'm sorry. I don't know because you're not in front of me, so I don't know the whole history. But what I can say is that nightmares are a part of PTSD. Absolutely. And on occasion, I will have these horrific nightmares where I wake up like you, like just, panicked and out of breath and a panic attack and the whole thing. It doesn't happen very often now, but I still have the response to them. So I don't know if you're being desensitized or if that you're just starting to recognize, okay, this is a nightmare and I don't need to, have this panic response. So honest to God, I would say get with a good therapist. Get with a good therapist and process that through. So I hate to say it, but I'm going to plug them again. www.betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez, because you will get a therapist and you can process what's going on. What are the emotions? Why is this happening? When did this start? How long has this been going on? Et cetera, et cetera. And is this desensitization or is this, I've been working on this for a while and maybe I'm just, recognizing this is a part of the PTSD. So that's really a good idea to do that. Okay. Where am I? Can women be narcissistic and men be abused? Oh, hell yes. Oh, absolutely. And I say this all the time. It's so funny. People always assume that when I'm talking about narcissists, that I'm talking about a guy. No, they can be male, they can be female, they can be trans, they can be whatever. Okay, seriously, they can be any sex. They can be male, female, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's going on up here, not with the genitalia. It matters what's going on in the brain. So yes, women absolutely can be narcissistic, and they are sometimes more vicious than the male narcissists. They're crazy. Yeah, absolutely, they can be. And then the man will think, oh my God, is it me? Yeah. Oh God, yes. Because what the female narcissist does, just like the male narcissist, is they look for somebody who's nice. They look for somebody who's sane. They look for somebody who's kind. They look for somebody who's a giver. They look for somebody who's a caretaker. They look for somebody who has the codependency issues, male or female. So I see this in same-sex relationships with a female abuser. I see this in heterosexual relationships with a female abuser. Yeah, absolutely. They look for a partner who is going to be codependent or who is going to be a caregiver, wanting to care, wanting to take care of, so that sets them up, male or female. Like I said, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Oh my God, it's me. It's me. It's me. Because we automatically assume it's us. We personalize things instead of going, wait a second. This person is rewriting history. This is not me. That's where I want you to get. I want you to get to the point that when somebody pulls a gaslighting trip like that, you're able to look at them and just be like, oh, hell no. I don't think so. You're rewriting history. Goodbye. Be done. Absolutely. But yes, that's absolutely what will happen. And yeah. And then, like I said, the guy is wanting to wanting to save, wanting to be a savior, wanting to help, wanting just like women do in relationships. Oh, poor them. They had such a hard childhood. Same thing. Oh, my wife had such a hard childhood, blah, 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 blah. Let me fix you. No, that's codependency. Codependent No More and Beyond Codependent No More by Melanie Beattie. The Disease to Please by Harriet Breaker. Excellent book. Yeah, start working on that stuff because you cannot fix another person. You cannot fix them because you did not break them. That is your motto from here on out. What to do, if anything, narcs and codependents / highly sensitive people. Wait a minute, I read that wrong. What do, if anything, narcs and codependent / highly sensitive people have in common? Ooh. I don't think anything. Now, I've heard people say that codependents are the flip side of narcissism. I disagree with that. I think what they have in common is that the narcissist is an excellent actor or actress, and they mirror us perfectly. In other words, when a healthy person or a highly sensitive person gets with another highly sensitive person, they're working on themselves and they're working on the codependency, then they help each other. They grow. They help each other grow. That's really what a healthy relationship is. Narcissists, when they come into the relationship, though, see somebody who is codependent or see somebody who is highly sensitive or see somebody who has the traits of borderline, and they mirror them perfectly, like Prince Hans and Anna from Frozen. Oh, you like pizza? I like pizza. You like this? I like that. You like moose? I like moose. You like ice skating? I like ice skating. And they make us think that they are them. It's literally like, oh, what was that horror movie where, was it Predator? I can't remember if it was Predator, but it would pretend, maybe it was Thing. The Blob? No, one of those. It would pretend it was the one with Kurt Russell. What the hell was the one with Kurt Russell? Oh, geez, The Thing, I think. Anyway, they would pretend to be the person, right? And so you let your guard down because you think that they are kind of like you a lot. And oh my God, I've met my soulmate. Oh my God, I've met this person who's really loving and kind and caring, just like I am. And then, of course, the thing becomes the thing and then eats your head. So it's just not a good thing. So no, I disagree with the ones that are like, oh, codependents and highly sensitive people are really narcissists. No, they're not. Narcissists don't care what other people think. They don't. Narcissists do not feel hurt when somebody, is rejecting them. They feel pissed. They don't feel hurt. They feel pissed and they want revenge and they want to hurt and they want to back. So no, I disagree that they have anything in common. I think the thing that is in common is that is the mirroring in the beginning, is that they're mirroring us and we think that they're like us. So there's that. What makes people want to date a bad boy or a bad girl? Codependency. Codependency. It's that idea that we can save them. It's that idea that we can change them. It's that idea that love conquers all. And as much as I love romantic movies, and I do, oh, speaking of romantic, although it's not a movie, it's not really romantic, but it's really fascinating, WandaVision. If you have not watched WandaVision, awesome! I love the MCU. It's fantastic. Back to the question. Sorry. I've had way too much caffeine today. Okay, so codependency is what makes us want to date somebody who is a bad guy or a bad girl, because we have this societal thing that love conquers all. And I wish it did. I really, honest, hand to heart, I wish it did. I wish we could just love people into sanity. I wish we could just love people into kindness. I wish we could love people into mental health. Wouldn't it be a wonderful world? It would. I'd be out of a job and I think I'd be okay with that. It'd be a great world to live in, but that's not the world we live in. So it's the codependency thing. It's the, oh my gosh, I see how your life is horrible. It's the idiot compassion that Pema Chodron talks about. So normal compassion is, I see how your life is horrible. I'll give you the tools to help you help yourself, but you got to help yourself, right? Idiot compassion is, I see that your life is horrible. I'm going to give you the tools to help yourself, but I'm going to work those tools for you so that you can get a better life. It doesn't work that way. So what you want is you want to have compassion for people, but you don't want to do it for them. You teach them how. I'm never work harder than your client. Hand to heart. Never work harder than your client. You give them the tools, you show them how to use it, and then you send them out, release them into the world, and let them work those tools. So, but that codependency, that caregiving, especially if we had a family where we had to be a caregiver, there was somebody sick in the family, a mom, a dad, grandparent, we had to caregive them. We had to become the second mom, the second dad. We had to take care of the little ones. That codependency. When we had alcoholic parents, had to clean them up after they threw up all over themselves, clean them up and put them into bed. You know, codependency. That's where that comes from, is that desire, that need to fix. And we can't. All we can do is fix ourselves. All I can do, literally, it makes me think of that John Ritter movie. What was the John Ritter movie where he got the muscle stimulus and he was jerking around? I can't think of the name of the movie. Oh my God, it was so funny, so bad, would never get made today. But his psychiatrist in the movie said, I have no answers, only suggestions. And I just was like, I am so going to use that. So yeah, I've got suggestions. I've got good suggestions. I've got books you can read, but you must do the work yourself. You can't just read it and think, oh, I'm now going to absorb it through osmosis. No, you absorb it and then you put it into, say it with me, action. Action. Practice. You don't become a good piano player by just reading the music. You got to actually sit down at the piano and really make some mistakes and figure out where the sharps and the flats are. You know, you got to practice. So you take what you learn and you practice. You put it into practice. But that's why we get attracted to bad boys and bad girls. I can save them. I can show them. If only they'll see what a great life they would have if they just did this, or if they just let me love them. I wish. Wouldn't that be nice? But it doesn't work that way. Plus the fact they're not going to let in the love. Narcissists hate us because they cannot love and they can't let in love. And if we do love them, guess what? They want us dead because they're pissed off because they cannot feel what we are feeling for them. They don't see why we feel it for them. And they want us dead because we keep reminding them that they're POSs. Oh, yeah. So there that is. Okay. Can a narc spot somebody with borderline? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And remember, narcissists are adept at doing the mining for information. So you know you're in the presence of somebody kind of hinky when they want to know literally everything. Like everything. Like, lie on the couch and tell me about your mother and your father. And they are not psychiatrists. Do you see where I'm going with that? Well, there are a lot of psychiatrists out there that are, in fact, narcissistic. So yeah, they'll mine for information. They'll mine. And based on answers, that's how they pick their target. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, we're almost out of time. Okay, how to deal with guilt about going no contact with a parent who enables the narcissist and gaslights and guilt trips. Okay, guilt is instilled. It is a learned behavior. Shame is a learned behavior. Somebody teaches us to feel shameful. If you watch little kids, they're the funniest little things ever. I love babies because they'll just throw their diapers off and run around the room, usually twirling the diaper as they go. But you know, no, there's no shame. There's no, oh, I shouldn't do this or anything like that. It has to be taught to them. Shame needs to be taught. It not needs to be, but it is taught. Guilt is taught, and it's usually taught by people who want to use said shame, said guilt to control and to manipulate. So what I would do if I were you is I would write guilt a goodbye letter. Dear guilt, bleep the bleepity bleep bleep out of bleeping bleep you. Now that I'm sponsored, I can no longer swear and I have to go back to my radio days of swearing. So no, I'm not going to feel guilty. You are doing this. I am raising the rent. You do not get to live in my head rent-free one more second. Have a nice life. And by have a nice life, I mean go bleep yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm raising the rent, get out of my head, goodbye. And then you trot it out to the barbecue and you burn it. And anytime that guilt comes up in your head, there's the guilt. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to resist you because when we resist something, it persists. So in other words, I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. The pink elephant's in the corner of the living room. I'm not thinking about the pink elephant. What am I doing the whole time? I'm thinking about the pink elephant. I'm also not going to invite this thought in for coffee because the damn thing will stay for dinner. So what you're going to do is you're going to validate it, acknowledge it. Yep, I see you, I hear you. Boy, my person, my parent really, really wants me to feel guilty. I'm not going to. Have a nice life. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now, right when you get work. Bye-bye. And you do that as many times as you need to. So guilt and shame are used by abusers to control and to manipulate. That is their whole purpose. They are not a healthy or normal thing that a child in a healthy or normal family would learn. You don't shame your kids. I know. You don't guilt trip your kids. You let them know what you expect of them, to be sure, and you give them boundaries, but you don't do this whole toxic shame, toxic guilt, which I see a lot of abusive parents doing. So, okay, we are just about out of time. So thank you guys for all your questions. I want to thank BetterHelp with a p.com/Chris Godinez. If you are looking for a counselor online, that is the place to go because they're online and you can get somebody in your state. If you're overseas, they will assign you somebody here in the US, which is great. Of course, then there's a time difference, so be aware of that. So, okay, next week, I want to talk about healing. What can you expect in the stages of healing? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, when is this going to be over? Why am I feeling this way? How come I have no friends? Freaking out. So I want to talk about the stages of healing next time. So to end, you're not the problem. You never have been the problem. You never will be the problem. As long as you are working on yourself, you are not the problem. Listen to me now, believe me later. So next week, stages of healing. That is what we are going to talk about. All right, you guys have a great week. I'm going to go enjoy the rain. Holy cow, it has not rained here in forever. So be good to yourselves, drink lots of water, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Bye.